At dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, "I am rising to do the work of a human being." Or, "Was I born to lie under warm blankets?" Marcus Aurelius. There's something sacred about early morning. Before the noise, before the rush, before the world pulls at your attention, there is a pause. And in that pause, a question waits. What kind of person will I be today? The Stoics didn't see the morning as just another routine. They viewed it as a spiritual checkpoint, a chance to reset, realign, and re-enter the world with clarity and courage. While the modern world tells us to win the morning to win the day, the Stoics whisper something deeper. Own your inner world, and the outer world will follow. This episode is not about productivity hacks or to-do lists. It's about 5 timeless Stoic practices you can do each morning to ground yourself, clear your thoughts, and walk into your day not rushed or reactive, but purposeful, peaceful, and powerful. Let's begin where all meaningful change starts, with perspective. Part 1. Meditate on impermanence. Find strength in the fleeting. Before you check your phone, before coffee, before words, return to silence. Take a seat in stillness. Let your posture mirror your mindset, upright yet relaxed, not rigid but alert. This is your body becoming the anchor for your awareness. Now gently close your eyes. Picture the vastness of the cosmos, stars forming, stars dying, galaxies spinning in quiet rhythm, planets drifting, unaware of the tiny dramas unfolding on their surface. Now zoom out. Imagine Earth from space. Then go smaller. Your street, your home, your breath. How fragile it all seems, and how beautiful. This isn't to make you feel small, it's to remind you of the miracle of transience. Everything changes, everything fades, including stress, fear, failure, and fame. The Stoics believed that by facing impermanence each morning, we could strip away what doesn't matter and see what truly does. As Seneca wrote, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." So take this time to reflect on how brief and precious your life is. Let that awareness guide your choices today. Don't waste it scrolling. Don't waste it proving. Don't waste it trying to control what you never could. Instead, begin your day like a Stoic, aware of the clock but not owned by it. Present, grateful, free. Part 2. Right to return to yourself. In a world that constantly demands your attention, writing is how you return it to yourself. The Stoics didn't write for others. They wrote to reflect, to remember, to refine. Marcus Aurelius never meant for his journal to become a classic of philosophy. He wrote as a form of self-tikkun, to remind himself of the man he wanted to be, especially on the days he fell short. Each morning, pick up a pen or open a blank page and just begin. Don't wait for the perfect words. Let your mind pour out onto paper. It could be fragments of a dream, leftover feelings from yesterday, or hopes for today. The goal isn't eloquence, it's honesty. Start by clearing mental clutter. Think of your thoughts like leaves scattered on a porch. Writing helps you sweep them aside so you can see the ground beneath. Steady, simple, solid. Then turn to gratitude. Write down 3 things you're genuinely thankful for. They don't have to be big. In fact, the smaller the better. A warm cup of tea, the comfort of clean sheets, a message from someone who still believes in you. These little acknowledgments remind you that abundance isn't always loud. From there, go inward. Ask yourself the hard human questions. Where did I react yesterday instead of respond? Where did I let my emotions lead instead of my principles? What do I want to do differently today? Not for appearance, but for integrity. And finally, set an intention. Not a goal, an intention. A quiet commitment to a virtue you want to embody today. Courage, patience, justice, presence. It could be as simple as, today I will speak less and listen more. Or I will not chase validation. I will center myself in truth. Your journal is not a diary. It's a mirror, a friend, a quiet place where your values become visible. Your morning thoughts become your internal compass. This practice isn't about perfection. It's about alignment. You don't write because you've figured it all out. You write because you're still becoming. Part 3. Set intentions, not just goals. Most of us wake up already thinking about what we need to get done. Deadlines, errands, numbers, results. We're taught that achievement is everything, that if we hit the goal, we win. But the Stoics saw it differently. They knew that outcomes are unpredictable, often outside of our control. You can train harder than ever and still lose. You can speak your truth and still be misunderstood. You can do everything right and still fall short of the finish line. So instead of chasing control, they practiced clarity, and that clarity came through setting intentions, internal commitments rooted not in results, but in values. While goals look outward, intentions look inward. Goals ask, what can I get? Intentions ask, who will I be? Each morning, after clearing your thoughts, ask yourself, who do I want to show up as today? Do I want to be more patient, pausing before I speak, breathing before I react? Do I want to lead with compassion, not just for others, but for myself when I stumble? Do I want to be brave enough to act even when I feel unsure, to step into discomfort without needing all the answers? Your intention might be quiet, but it should be clear, not something to check off, but something to embody, a virtue to wear throughout the day, like a second skin. You might say, today I will choose presence over distraction. Or I will practice acceptance instead of resistance. Or even, I will focus on effort, not outcome. As Seneca once said, it is not what you endure, but how you endure it. Your intentions shape that how. They become your armor, not to fight the world, but to stay anchored in it. Because at the end of the day, you can't always control what happens, but you can always control how you show up. And how you show up, calm, grounded, aligned, is how you live a life of purpose. Part 4. Embrace a small discomfort. The modern world teaches us to chase comfort. Warm beds, hot coffee, easy clicks, instant answers. We insulate ourselves from anything inconvenient, and then we wonder why we feel unprepared when life gets hard. The Stoics understood that true resilience doesn't come from ease. It comes from choosing discomfort when we don't have to. Seneca once practiced wearing rough clothes and eating the simplest meals, not because he was poor, but to remind himself that he could endure it. He called this preparing for misfortune, but it was really about discovering inner strength. You don't have to live like a monk to embrace this. Just start your morning by doing one small thing that feels slightly uncomfortable. Take a cold shower, not because it's trendy, but because it wakes up your willpower. Skip that first coffee and remind yourself that your energy doesn't come from a cup, it comes from within. Leave your phone untouched for the first hour and prove to yourself that you control your attention, not the other way around. Walk instead of drive. Fast for a few hours longer. Sit in silence instead of turning on music. Whatever it is, choose something that pushes gently against your craving for ease. Why? Because voluntary discomfort is training. It sharpens the mind and stretches the spirit. It prepares you to face real challenges, not with panic, but with quiet readiness. When you expose yourself to small adversity, you rob larger adversity of its power. You build the muscle of discipline. You become the kind of person who doesn't crumble when things go sideways, because you've already chosen the hard path and walked it willingly. Comfort makes you soft. Discomfort, wisely chosen, makes you strong. So don't run from it. Lean into it. Start your day by proving to yourself that you are not here to be pampered. You're here to grow. Part 5. Practice mindfulness and embrace. Amor Fati. The world wakes up loud. Headlines, messages, deadlines. It's easy to be swept into the noise before you've even taken a breath, but a Stoic knows the value of stillness before action. Each morning, give yourself the gift of presence, not performance, presence. Find a quiet space. Sit comfortably. Close your eyes. Let your awareness settle into your breath. Feel the inhale, the exhale. No forcing, no resisting, just observation. Let your thoughts come and go like clouds drifting through the sky. Don't chase them. Don't fight them. Watch them. And remember, you are not your thoughts. You are the one watching. This is mindfulness in the Stoic sense, the separation of what happens from how you judge it, the ability to notice your emotions without being ruled by them, the art of creating space between stimulus and response, and in that space, finding freedom. But don't stop there. In those final moments of stillness, reflect on one of the deepest Stoic teachings, Amor Fati, the love of fate. Not just acceptance of life's circumstances, but embracing them completely. The joy and the grief, the wins and the losses, the blessings and the burdens. Amor Fati invites you to say this too is good, not because it feels good, but because it's part of your story. It's here for a reason, and if you can learn from it, grow through it, rise because of it, then even pain has purpose. Start your day by whispering to yourself, I will love whatever this day brings, not passively, but powerfully, not as surrender, but as strength. This is how you meet life on its terms, not waiting for it to be perfect, but choosing to show up anyway, with an open heart. Because every moment you're given is a chance to practice virtue, every difficulty is a forge for your character, and every morning is a quiet invitation to begin again, calm, awake, and deeply, unapologetically alive. And just like that, your day has already shifted. Not because the world changed, but because you did, quietly, deliberately, and with intention. You took a moment to step outside the cycle of reactivity. You chose stillness over chaos, presence over performance, and principle over impulse. That's not small. That's mastery in motion. The Stoics didn't promise ease, they promised inner strength. And every morning you practice these rituals, meditation, journaling, intention, discomfort, mindfulness. You train your mind to be a little clearer, your heart a little steadier, and your actions a little more aligned with the person you're becoming. There will still be hard days, but now you're not meeting them empty-handed. You're arriving with awareness, resilience, and a sense of quiet control, not over the world, but over yourself. And that's where peace lives, not in the absence of challenge, but in the presence of discipline. So thank you for giving yourself this space, for choosing to live a bit more awake today, for walking the Stoic path not because it's easy, but because it's true. If this reflection helped ground you, share it with someone else who might be looking for a calmer way to start the day. And if you're here listening, know this: you're not just hearing Stoic wisdom, you're living it. Take a breath, step forward, you're already becoming who you were meant to be. One morning at a time, one quiet act at a time. Until next time, stay strong, stay still, and stay Stoic.